Warning: in my story, you will encounter many things that are taboo. In fact, I am making a claim that should not be taken lightly, yet I think I am allowed to make this claim. I give full throttle and go against the established order. I am a rebel who must re-educate humanity about what reality truly is. My book is about spirituality, not religion. I also don't have any special superpowers. I cannot walk on water, heal the sick with my spit, but I might be able to raise the dead. I made this book for free because it is my goal to reach as many as possible. I am not into money. One of the reasons this is free is because it is your right to know how this reality works. Who am I to put a price on the truth? Who am I to let people unnecessarily suffer from bipolar disorder just for a few coins? I am not like that, so you get everything for free, and I will share you all my discovered secrets as a shaman. As far as I know, I am just a person of simple flesh and blood, who tends to have a simple life, yet nothing in my life is simple. I won't give you superpowers, but I will give you the key to happiness. Everyone will initially think I'm crazy, and they're absolutely right. I would judge the same if I were in their shoes, but in writing this book, I fully live up to my claim. The question that everything revolves around is, am I crazy, or maybe not so crazy after all? Don't shoot the fucking messenger. My name is Elmer. I'm a natural-born shaman, and that's a problem. I live in the Netherlands, and there the shaman has no right to exist. For more than 36 years, I have walked around with an identity that I didn't know of. For many years, I experienced the most strange things, and every time the question arose, why me? Why not someone else? What makes me so special? At the age of 36, I found the first clue towards my hidden identity, and then the ball slowly started rolling. I did an analysis on myself, and the result is sick, even for my standards. With this book, I give you a complete look into the life of a shaman, or in other words, a pure serpent bearer. I have decided to share most of my experiences with you. I play open game. I know what the general opinion is in this world society, and it comes down to going against everyone. It all leads to conflict, and I have no other way out. Yet, you do not have to mourn for me because I was born to deal with conflict. I am a pure serpent bearer, and I have got two reasons that indicate that I am a shaman. The first reason are all the different experiences. I have 4 different psychic abilities, and these play a very decisive role when it comes to my perception of reality. The difference between a psychic and a shaman is the following. A psychic has some form of control over them, and as a shaman, I have nothing under control. Experiences with psychic abilities, they come and they go. The hallmark of the shaman is that everything revolves around gaining as many experiences as possible, in the broadest sense of the word. You don't get to experience a small part of reality, no, you get to process the full story. Nothing in life remains secret for me. The second hint is hidden in astrology. It turns out that I represent a constellation that no longer exists. I would also find out that a certain religion has done its utmost to erase this constellation from history. Yet, they were only partially successful. This constellation can be found in other ancient cultures all over the world. In this case, it's all about the zodiac sign of the Serpent Bearer. The Serpent Bearer is all about the afterlife, psychic abilities, and strives for the ultimate truth. Everything revolves around making a dignified and fair judgment. There is only one thing that matters, and that is the truth. All my paranormal experiences together are part of my universal education. This means that I have been purely guided all this time by following my feelings and impulses. Every time I chased this feeling, it gave me something special. So this entire book was made possible by my feelings and impulsiveness. All information in this book has been completely put through the ringer. My goal is to be as accurate as possible. I am very open, honest, and direct when it comes to spirituality. I don't make it more beautiful, and I don't make it uglier either. I keep everything extremely businesslike. However, I am faced with quite a task. I have to go against the established order with everything. I'm also a rebel who doesn't make it easy for others. I dealt with conflict all my life. I learned how to fight back. Though I am up for a difficult mission. My first challenge is to break the taboos surrounding my being. As a shaman, I exist. My second challenge is that I have to bring everything back to life. For me, everything revolves around death and resurrection. Symbolically, I have to resurrect the dead. I have to resurrect the Serpent Bearer, astrology, numerology, and even the gods. In this book, I start with the negative. I want to be clear that I am someone who has suffered a mental disorder. I may carry an important title, but I still had to fight hard to earn my title. My path in life is relentless. So I start off by showing my weak side. At the age of 24, due to a lot of stress, I contracted a bipolar disorder. I want to tell you what exactly that means, and how I managed to overcome this disease. My knowledge might help others. Then I will move on to the subject of the afterlife. This is where my universal education began. In 3 years' time, I would gain an extreme amount of experience in this area. Even many years later, I still occasionally get a hint from the dead that they are there. During this period, my abilities were also completely unleashed. There was no pause at all. It is also the gift of clairsentience, which would tear me to my core, physically and mentally. It paved the way for my first serious burnout. I would like to conclude my biography by sharing you my vision. I have studied all the experiences for years, and I had to think hard and search for answers for a long time, before I found all the pieces of the puzzle. To be honest, I've been writing this book for over 9 years, and every time I rewrite the book, I make a new discovery. In a sense, I was already starting my final exams, even though my studies were just beginning. However, now I have reached the point where I have unraveled everything. Once I have discussed my biography, it is time for me to focus fully on the forgotten zodiac sign of the Serpent Bearer. I am one myself, and by analyzing myself, I got to discover everything about this lost identity. In this chapter, I'll start with the basics of astrology, and explain why the Serpent Bearer is still a part of astrology and numerology. Then I'll go into my 213 experience, and show what it all led to in the end. In this case, it is a pattern that kept recurring over different periods. I was thought to be crazy, but in retrospect I wasn't as crazy at all. I was sharp and observant, and I never doubted my own eyes for a moment. In this topic, I teach about the Holy Trinity. Once I get that topic out of the way, it's time for numerology. Numerology is completely unknown to many today. It is completely dead, so it is up to me to fully restore this lost knowledge, and I even offer you something extra in the form of my formula. My formula is the birth chart of numerology. To conclude the spirituality section, I will end with my battle against religion as a whole. I'm not going to hold back in this area. It is war. During my universal training, I have made numerous discoveries that all relate to the Serpent Bearer. I want to talk about ancient cultures and our true past. I conclude the book with an analysis of myself, in which I use all my techniques. Before you start reading, I would like to say that there is a considerable chance that you will have a conflict with my view. It cannot be otherwise because nothing is what it seems to be. My advice is to let go of everything you thought you knew, and start over. It is time for a so-called reset. My book is very much like being a Bible, and yet this has never been my intention. My goal was just to share all my findings, and it automatically led to that result. I show you the true way to spirituality. From there you have to do it all yourself, by taking the initiative. In my opinion, you must experience and discover things yourself. I know, better than anyone, that personal experience has much more value than any book. My message goes against many existing ideas, yet I think I have largely exposed the true reality. It's time we begin.